It took 11 summers for Don and Phyllis Monday to reach the northwest summit of Waddington. We'll have one day. The weather on the glacier is so irregular and unpredictable that the first day that dawn's clear, we gear up for the ascent. 4,000 vertical feet of climbing lies ahead of us, but much of that will be spent tracing a serpentine line across the glaciers that hang from Waddington's flanks. We'll zigzag between gaping crevasses, skirt trenches and debris fields that mark the paths of yesterday's avalanches, and tiptoe along the unstable foundations of hanging seracs and crumbling bergschrund. The path we choose on the way up may prove our undoing on the way down. If a storm moves in with whiteout conditions, we'll be unable to retrace our steps. The way down will be through traps that may lie unseen.
There's no easy or safe route to the summit. Everything has a lot of objective hazard. We went through 2 debris zones from big active seracs, which is a super dangerous kind of thing, and it was kind of unnerving to be out on some of these big slopes, you know, but the great thing about that was being with all these other guys who are basically like snow experts. So I trust their judgment and I'm learning a lot.
These mountains are very, very technical to negotiate. Crevasses, avalanche, run-out pass, major serac fall. And I would classify this route as probably one of the most technically scary routes I've ever done. Even though most of the time we were on skins up the route, it was through some of the most dangerous territory I've ever traveled.
We've not seen any 12-hour period of clear skies over Waddington, and we desperately need 12 clear hours.
The coast off of Canada has some of the most brutal weather coming in off the Alaskan Pacific that, you know, you never know what's going to happen on this mountain.
The final slope of the northwest summit is an ascent of the same line we'll ski down. The snow is firm enough that we no longer kick steps, relying instead on the front points of our crampons and the picks of our axes. As the slope approaches 60 degrees, there is less fear in our hearts than there is admiration for a tiny woman who climbed this slope 65 years ago, Mrs. Phyllis Monday.
Really, certainly was the most thrilling thing up to that day, anyway, to see the whole world, as it were, at your feet, and all those wonderful glaciers. I don't think any climber would understand just what it seems to touch your soul, I think. It's very difficult for a person to try to explain, actually, but it's worth whatever effort you put into it. Doesn't matter how hard it is. I'd go back again, I really know.
So here I am from the top of the northwest peak of Mount Waddington. Yeah!